Alright, so I actually started to make this and forgot to record. But what I have going on is a bathroom vanity countertop. This vanity has a built-in cabinet next to it where the water main is going to be underneath, and it's just going to be concealed behind a door. The sink bowl is over here. There's going to be a faucet back here. But yeah, what I have going on, let me stand it up, is I have an integrated sink bowl. I have the build-up. I have this little S-curve on there for a radius. I am now ready to route out all the buildup on the edges to get it all smooth, and then I will route out the sink bowl itself. Alright, I'm going to set up to record all that. All right, there's our sink bowl. All you have to do when you're routing is make sure you pay attention to your guide bearing so you don't fall into the overflow. But yeah, there's an integrated sink bowl. There's a seam, but it appears seamless, just transition between white and colored. I just gotta route the outside with an 1/8 inch. I'm gonna put a 1 inch radius on here so it's soft, and then sand out all up. All right, there is our finished bathroom vanity. This end goes up against a wall. This end goes up against a wall. All of this is a finished end. And then this is a finished end. And then we have our integrated bathroom sink. It has our overflow and our just regular drain. And they chose to do just an individual hole for the faucet. No need to have the base plate or anything. Keep it nice and sleek. And that's their actual faucet they chose. I really like how this looks. Alright. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Alright, so I have another little project going on. That countertop I just finished basically is this. Well, underneath right here on this portion is the water main for the house. And I have to enclose it. I'm not going to build a cabinet, but I'm going to build basically a false front or face frame. The countertop itself is going to be held on by blocking over on this wall and over on this wall. But over in the front, I need something to support it. And also I want to make a decorative face for the front edge where you're looking at for that water meter, so it's concealed. So my concept is basically a picture frame that is 4 inches wide, 4 inches wide, 4 inches wide, and 4 inches wide. It has an open area to access the actual water meter that has a removable panel that will lift off and pull out so you can get in. And that removable panel will look something like a kind of like a flat panel shaker door almost. But that is going to be held on by something like this, where I'm going to have the top rail and there's going to be another bottom rail, but they're going to mimic each other, where it's going to be machined out, where it has the flat panel right here that's rabbited into the back of the rail. And then on the upper portion of that rail, I'm going to dado in about 3/8, maybe a 1/2 inch. And then I'm actually going to cut a little dovetail or French cleat on it. So on the top and on the bottom, it will actually slide onto a French cleat adapter that is on the top and bottom of this panel. So that's what I'm going to be working on. It's all going to be paint grade. So I have some leftover soft maple that's all for paint grade material from another job I did. And it serves its purpose. I'm going to be using 3 boards. I'm actually only going to be using about 2.5 boards, but I'll get these milled down in 2 size, and I mean, you're going to see it in a second. Once I have these to size, I'm going to start laying out for the framing. It's going to be real easy. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. I'm just going to, for these joints, I am just going to do simple pocket screws and glue. I might throw a biscuit in there. I might not. I don't know. Just depends on how I feel when I do it. The joints for the rest of them, I'm probably going to do the same thing. It's, like I said, just a real simple basic cover panel. Alright, I have the pieces for the main frame cubed up to my sizes. So it's just going to be a picture frame like this. And then these other pieces over here, I'm just going to take one of these for a second. Actually, this happens to be one of the ones that it's going to get cut into, have the notches. It's going to have, let me put this down. It is going to have a rabbit cut like that. And then it's going to have a dado cut like that. And then I'm going to run a dovetail joint router bit on it and cut on this one. If it's the bottom, I'm going to be cutting right here like that, so it'll act as a French cleat. And then the top one, if we were to flip it over, will have similar. It'll have the French cleat hook, the dado, and then it'll have the rabbit. The rabbit is for the recessed panel to go in. The dado is for the reverse French cleat on the frame that'll be on that. And then the actual French cleat cut, which is the dovetail router bit. Alrighty. Alright, so this is a stacked dado set. It actually has multiple different blades in here. There's the outside finish cutting edges, because they have, let's go in there, they have a point that cuts to the outside right there, so it scrapes nice and clean. And then this one right here, point opposite direction, scrapes nice and clean. And then it has the rakers on the inside, which are just rakers or chippers, whatever you want to call them. Just plow out everything in the center. They don't have to give a good cut on the edges, so they're just a square top. But this set is fairly new to me. I don't use it all that often. That's why I had to put it together, then take it apart to get 3/4. Because this one, the carbide overlaps the actual disc. And they do that so instead of having to have 5 chippers in here, you can have 3 chippers, and then you just put spacers in. So the first time I put together, I didn't put the spacers in. That's why I had to take it apart. Then I put the spacers in. All right. Now I'm going to set up, figure out what I want to do for sizing for the dado on here, and I'll go from there. All right, so the GoPro didn't record me running the dados, but that's pretty basic. Just ran these through. It's 1.5 inches wide by 3/8 of an inch deep. Now I'm just going to run the dovetail joint bit, router bit, on this edge right here to chamfer that back to make it a French cleat. I'm going to do that on the router table because I'm not freehanding that. You can do it with the table saw. You would just run the table saw on a probably 30-degree angle or so and just keep cutting at it and adjust your length, because you would use a regular 1/8 inch or 1/16 inch thin curved blade, cut like that, then cut again like that, and cut like that. And by doing that, you're just moving the fence over a little bit as you go. And that will allow you to get the same thing. And for the French cleat, it won't matter if you have a jagged edge from the table saw right there. But like I said, I'm going to be doing it with the dovetail router bit right in here, just because I can. It's easier. Why not? So I got one side done. Here, let's go over here. It's actually facing down right now. I got that routed. It's a very subtle, very light French cleat, but it's there. So when it's actually hanging, it's going to be like that, so the other piece will hook. So I'm just going to use this as an example. Imagine this piece being where it's hanging onto, and it just goes on here and drops down. And then you can't pull it straight out without lifting. You have to lift up and then pull out. But because one of these is going to be on the bottom, I have 3 because I always run a third, especially when I'm doing multiple machining, just in case something happens. I don't have to set everything up again. But because one of these is going to be on bottom, I'm going to run it on this side as well, because on bottom, the piece is actually going to be like this, because the rabbet will be right here, and then the French cleat will be hooking on right here. I don't know, did I even get that on camera? Yeah, the French cleat will be right here, the rabbet will be right here. They were playing at the exact same time, but somehow one's slightly thicker than the other. Unless I'm on an angle. Yeah, I forgot glue though. Wasn't supposed to put that in until this clamp was in. Alright, now I just got to do this 3 more times for this frame, and then I'm going to work on the next frame. Alright, this is the main frame that holds the removable panel. Not a whole lot more that needs to get done to this. I'm going to let the glue dry on the joints, then I'll quickly sand it. And then on the back side over here, I'm going to drill some pocket holes up and down this side and up and down this side, because they're going to get mounted to over here to the cabinet and over there to the wall. Alright, now I'm going to work on those over there, making that removable panel, and also figuring out the French cleats for this. Alright. Alright, there's the second frame. Now I had to pay attention. Now this is the wider side, the fatter side. This has a bevel on it. It's the French cleat side. And then up here is the top. This has the narrow side. The wider side right here is the dado. And this has the French cleat on it as well. So now the next step is to route in a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch deep rabbet around the inside perimeter of this. But I'm going to wait for that until this glue dries up a little. While this is drying up, it's been long enough where I can start working on that frame over there. I'll sand that up, get it all ready. I might even get to pocket screwing or pocket holing the back side of it. Alrighty. Alright, this is our removable panel. Not this, but the whole thing is removable. Here are our grooves and French cleats on both sides, top and bottom, so it's supported. And then the face of it, right here, just looks like a shaker panel. And that will go over onto this. Let's put this over here. Right here where it's flat. Gotta make space. That is gonna stand up like that, and then we bring this panel over to it, and it just drops on like that. And it's not on the ground. The main panel's on the ground, but the other one's suspended. But yeah, just like that. Doesn't come off, it pulls the whole thing away. So, perfect. Alright, so that's done.